We'll talk about it. All right, so it says, what do these companies have in common? We've got Midas, we've got Nike, and we've got something with a mermaid on it. Who thinks they know the answer?
Me.
All right, Christopher?
Do they all have something to do with Greek mythology?
That would be correct. They do. They all have something to do with Greek mythology. Do you know specifically what any of them have to do with Greek mythology?
Well, King Midas could turn stuff to gold.
That is true. Hey, Taylor.
Yes, sir.
Were you going to say the same thing about Greek mythology?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And all right, anybody know what Nike is?
She was like the goddess of competition and stuff like that.
There we go. And then, of course, the Starbucks mermaid. Do you guys know what that is? And that's okay if you don't. That was kind of obscure, but it has to do with the harpies. All right. Okay, so if you haven't figured it out yet, we are going to be talking today about ancient Greeks, specifically mythology and the influence of ancient Greece on us. So I've got course of study 3 and 4. Course of study of course 3 is all about religion. Course of study 4 is about the ancient Greeks. So the essential question, this is what we should be able to answer when we get done, is how have we been influenced by the ancient Greeks? We did a bell ringer. We're going to do a little triple threat today, and then we're going to finish it up with a friendly little quiz. All right. So I emailed you guys ahead of time. I shared with you a document that should look something like this. All right. And the way a triple threat works is we're going to have 3 visuals that we're going to look at. And for each visual, we're going to make 3 observations, 3 inferences, and 3 predictions. That's why it's called triple threat. Now, observation, this is very basic. All right. It's just like I see somebody wearing a brown shirt. All right. I see a bunch of people. I see some words. Very, very basic. But then, like, your inference would be that guy wearing the brown shirt. What do you think he is? Right. So it could be I see a man in a brown shirt. The inference could be he works for UPS. Okay. So you're just adding meaning to your observation, and your inference is going to build on your observation. Okay. And then the prediction, that's what's going to happen to that person or that visual in the future. So I saw a man with a brown shirt. He works for UPS. He is going to deliver somebody's package. Okay. Of course, none of this will have to do with UPS. Have something to do with Greek mythology. You guys understand? We good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Christopher, you good?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
All right. All right. So let's take a look at the first picture. Remember, what you're going to do first, you're going to come up with some observations. Okay. So here's our first picture. We got some people sitting around a table or something. All right. So Taylor, you want to go ahead and give us an observation? Do you have one?
I see a man with a trident.
Okay. Yeah. Down here on the bottom. Yeah. We've got the man with a trident down here. All right. Christopher, do you have one?
I see a guy with a red robe thingy.
All right. A red robe thingy. Yes. All right. So now, once you come up with 3 observations, then I want you to come up with 3 inferences, okay? So maybe infer, what about the guy with the trident or the guy with, as you put it, Christopher, red robe thingy? All right, so go ahead and think about your next step, which is your inference, and go ahead and share out when you're ready. Taylor, do you have an inference?
The man with the trident is Poseidon, god of the sea.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Christopher?
I think they're the Greek gods.
Okay, they're the Greek gods. So the guy with the red thing, who do you think that is?
Zeus.
Zeus, there you go. All right, so guys, that's what this is. You're spot on. These are the Greek gods. Here they are hanging out at Mount Olympus, right? This is where they hang, and this is what they do. They would sit up around Mount Olympus and look down in the center here on the earth and all of us little mortals, and they would basically treat the mortals like chess pieces and make little games. And then, of course, the gods would fight among themselves and argue, and they were backstabbers. Basically, it was kind of like middle school all the time. They were always just, they'd start dating and then break up, and then somebody start going with somebody else, and they wouldn't like this person, and they wouldn't talk to that person, and all that kind of stuff. All right, we got one more thing we need to do here. We had our observation, we had our inference. Now, let's get a prediction. All right, who'd like to share a prediction?
I think they're going to make something happen with the mortals and stuff.
All right, they're going to make something happen with the mortals. That's good. Taylor, you got a prediction?
The man with the trident will eventually kill the animal that he is stabbing.
Okay, Poseidon's going to kill that little thing he's sitting on. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, let's look at our next one. You guys ready? Here's our next one. All right, we got a little more information here this time. So come up with your observations. Now remember, your observations is just I see, boom. I see this. I see, that. Okay, nothing too complicated. All right. Who would like to share with their first observation?
It is a chart.
All right, I see a chart. Taylor, what you get? What do you have?
I see 11 gods and goddesses.
All right, that's good. All right, let's come up with some inferences. Who's got an inference to share with us?
I think that since Zeus is at the top, that he's kind of the main guy that everybody's focusing on. You know?
Okay, yeah, that's good. Zeus is the main guy that everybody is focusing on. That's good. All right, Taylor, do you have an inference to share?
Based on the key in the upper right-hand corner of the picture, I think that the gods and goddesses are arranged in a family tree.
Okay, a family tree. That's good.
Okay.
That's good. All right, let's get a prediction. Somebody ready for a prediction?
I think that
Let me ask you this. Look down at the bottom here. You've got this Ares. He's the god of what?
war.
War. So do you think there might be some sort of war coming up or something?
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, probably somebody's going to. These guys are going to go to war, or somebody maybe in ancient Greece is going to go to war, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now remember, they did the people worship these gods and goddesses?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. And so they would try and get favor with the gods and goddesses, right? So why would somebody maybe make a sacrifice to, say, Hestia over here on the right? What would they try and do?
So that everybody in their family will be happy.
There you go.
She's the goddess of the home.
There you go. So could you say that a mortal is going to make a sacrifice to Hestia so that their home would be happy?
That makes sense.
Does that make sense? Okay. So go ahead and come up with that. Taylor, do you have a prediction for us?
I think the gods will eventually go to war with each other.
There you go. Yep. That's one of those things you can always count on. All right, let's take a look at our last one. You guys ready for our last one? This one's a little bit different, and it's got words on it. All right. Who'd like to read that first little paragraph for us?
I will.
Go for it.
Because the Greeks loved myths and stories, they created many great works of literature. Among the earliest Greek writings are two great epic poems, the Iliad and the Odyssey, written by Homer.
All right. Hey, in 2020, the name Homer is usually associated with what?
The Simpsons?
There you go. And that's probably if you guys have ever watched The Simpsons at all, they've actually made use of the Iliad and the Odyssey to tell stories and kind of base their stories, some episodes on those two stories. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of another way that we've been influenced by the ancient Greeks. All right, Taylor, read a little bit more about Homer for us.
Homer is a famous poet and one of the earliest Greek writers. The heroes in Homer's poems fought in the Trojan War.
All right, so the Trojan War. Now, what's interesting about that, just a little side note here, I was listening to NPR, I don't know, about a year or so ago, and they started talking about the Trojan War as if it was real, and they're actually starting to find evidence of artifacts from the Trojan War, which is kind of interesting. And if you guys know, that's the one that ended with the soldiers getting in that big wooden horse and getting led right into the center of the city. And then when everybody's asleep, the soldiers that were hidden in the horse, they climb out and they kill everybody. You know, it's an uplifting story. All right, Christopher, read about the Iliad for us.
The Iliad tells the story of the last years of the Trojan War. It focuses on the deeds of the Greeks.
There you go. And the Iliad also, that's this part that contains the Trojan horse story. And also, if you guys ever hear in like computers, somebody talks about a Trojan horse virus, and that's a virus that sneaks into your computer, and then it just unloads and just wipes everything out, and it's a huge, huge, huge mess. All right, Taylor, read about the Odyssey for us.
The Odyssey describes the challenges that the Greek hero Odysseus faced on his way home from the war.
All right. So, again, that takes place at the end of the war, and if you guys have ever heard that phrase, oh, somebody goes on an Odyssey, that just means like a really long trip. All right. So Homer's works were epic poems, right? Where you have and basically in an epic poem, you've got a hero that has to go on a large quest. Have you guys ever read a book or seen a movie about somebody that has this huge task in front of them that they have to overcome?
Yes, sir.
Let's give us one, Christopher.
Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters.
There you go. Yeah, Percy Jackson. Literally, they take the Greek stories and put them in a new way. What about, have there been any other stories you've read, not necessarily dealing with Greeks, but that use that same structure?
Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter, right? You've got this kid who's had this tragedy befall him, right? He lost both of his parents. He has to go on an epic quest, it seems like every year at school, doesn't he? All right, it's basically taking the story structure of the Iliad and the Odyssey, but then just tweaking it a little bit, but still basically the same thing. And we've gotten off subject. We forgot to do our predictions, didn't we? Or no, our observations, didn't we? So somebody give me an observation about what we've done, because I know you guys were doing that while I was rambling on. So somebody give us an observation.
Homer wrote lots of poems.
Okay, that's true. Taylor, do you have an observation?
There was a famous Greek writer named Homer.
There we go. All right, I know you guys have already got your inferences because you've been working while I've been hammering on. So somebody give me an inference.
Homer's works will be used even after we die.
Okay, I mean, that's kind of a prediction, though, isn't it?
Oh, yes, sir.
Because we haven't died yet. Okay. All right, Taylor, do you have an inference for us? And Christopher, I'm going to come back to you for another inference.
Since the Greeks had many myths, books and poems helped preserve their history and culture.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, Christopher, do you have your inference for us?
Everyone loved to tell the Greek myths.
Okay, that's good. All right, predictions. Christopher, you already given us one, so you're good. Taylor, do you have a prediction for us?
Future book series like Percy Jackson will be somewhat based on Greek mythology and Homer's poems.
Perfect, perfect. Now, I've told you guys, I don't know if I ever told you guys about one of my favorite movies, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Actually, it's one of your mama's favorite too, but I digress. But it is a modern telling of the Odyssey, but instead of it being in ancient Greece after the Trojan War, it's in Mississippi in the Depression era, and you've got the main character, Ulysses Everett McGill, is trying to get home to his wife. And they use a lot of the same symbolism, a lot of the same characters. You've got the blind soothsayer, you've got the harpies, and or I'm sorry, not the harpies, the sirens, and then you even have the one-eyed guy. What's the one-eyed guy called in Greek mythology?
Cyclops.
The Cyclops. You even have a Cyclops who is a Bible salesman. It's such a great movie. Anyway, all right, so you guys did good. I know you'll go ahead and share those documents with me again. All right, I'm turning off PowerPoint because you guys need to open up another window because you know what we got? We have got to play
Quizzes.
Quiz is, all right? So go ahead and make sure that you've got it. And this is being difficult with me today. Here we go. All right. We're going to play classic mode. Remember, you guys, just go ahead and once the name comes up, go ahead and just jump on it, whatever goofy name it gives you. Joinmyquiz.com is where you're going to go, and your code is 999342. All right. All right. Who do we got there? We've got Gooseberry Caspian and Carambola Fudge. All right. Well, let's get started here. And I'll take that off. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to questions here. So the Parthenon in Athens, who was Athens named for? All right, both of you guys got that one. Good job. Ancient Greeks believed in many gods and goddesses, which the following terms describes their religious belief. Somebody got it right. All right, we got anybody else getting it right? Oh, there we go. Both of you guys got it right. Good job there. According to the chart, which god was a child of Zeus? We got Hermes, Hera, Hephaestus, and Hercules. Oh, notice it said according to the chart. So one of them had to be actually on the chart there. All right, both the Odyssey and the Iliad deal with the blank war. There we go. And of course, there we go. We got a little allusion there to The Simpsons. Notice you have Santa's little helper there as the blind dog. All right, if someone's going to start I don't know why I'm reading this out loud. You guys can do it. Good job. There, good job applying that knowledge there. All right, we're looking at the map now. Where did they? Oh, somebody knows it was Mount Olympus. Does somebody else know it's Mount Olympus? Yep. All right. Somebody already knows about a peninsula. Anybody else know about a peninsula? Look at that, man. There we go. Good job. All right. If you notice, one of these places was not on one of their logos was not on there. But there you go. You guys got it. And of course, have another Simpsons reference here. Love that right there. By me, Homer. Sorry. All right. And our last one here.